The former IT Director for Mar-a-Lago, man by the name of Yuscil Taveras. Mr. Tavares had been represented by a lawyer being funded by Donald Trump's super PAC, and while he was being represented by that lawyer, according to court filings, he made some statements to the court and to the prosecutors that got him a perjury investigation because they believed that he lied under oath. So Mr. Tavares was, of course, facing some very serious problems. And then, on July 5th, Mr. Tavares decided, you know what, I'm going to dump my lawyer that's being paid for by Donald Trump. I'm going to go basically with a public defender. Oh, and by the way, also, I would like to retract the very false statement that I said and instead throw Donald Trump under the bus. So while he had the Trump paid for lawyer, he was more than willing to lie. But once he switched lawyers, he said, you know what, I'm going to flip and I'll tell you everything you need to know about what happened with that Mar-a-Lago security footage. Let me read this. This is according to the newest court filing. Immediately after receiving new counsel, Trump employee number 4, which is how he's mentioned in the indictment, retracted his prior false testimony and provided information that implicated Walt Nada, Carlos de Olivier, and Trump in efforts to delete security camera footage as set forth in the superseding indictment. So this all happened before the superseding indictment, right? This guy did not just flip this week. But this new information tells us that this is what led to that superseding indictment down in Florida in the documents case. And it all happened because he ditched the lawyer that Trump was paying for. So it definitely raises the question as to whether or not that lawyer being paid for by Donald Trump at the time instructed him to lie. If so, we're looking at severe consequences for that lawyer if that is in fact what happened. And I am willing to bet that since he decided to flip and give over all the information, this man, Mr. Tavares, probably did tell prosecutors if that is what the lawyer told him to do. So that lawyer, I'd kind of be on eggshells right now because you're probably going to be hit with charges later on. Most likely a bar complaint seeking your disbarment for instructing a client to lie, if, of course, that is what happened. But more importantly, Mr. Tavares is, of course, going to be called as a witness in the documents case. And based on the testimony that he's already given, he said explicitly, we were told by Trump, delete the security footage. These are the two men, Nada and de Olivier, that he sent down to delete it, but he instructed them to delete it after receiving the federal subpoena. If this were in a normal jurisdiction, with a judge that was anybody other than Eileen Cannon, this would be the smoking gun. This is absolutely, you're going to get convicted on this in any other court in the country. But as usual with the documents case, which honest to God at this point, we've got Mark Meadows that has testified against Trump in the documents case with the grand jury. Mike Pence did. Now this guy, Mr. Tavares, did. This should be a slam dunk conviction. And that, of course, is why Judge Cannon has done everything in her power to make sure that the game is rigged in Trump's favor. You know, moving it from the courthouse where it was supposed to be back over to her jurisdiction, which is far more filled with Trump supporters. So you're going to have a Trump-friendly jury. You got a judge that, as we've discussed, has no idea how to even handle criminal charges. Like, she is that incompetent. She's spent 14 days of her entire career overseeing criminal trials. She doesn't know what she's doing. So that could work out in Trump's favor. Any other jurisdiction in the country, you're probably getting an easy conviction rather quickly. But with Judge Cannon, even with all this smoking gun evidence, you never know. But one thing we do know is that it is pretty obvious as to why Donald Trump is using his super PAC to pay people's legal bills. Because this is not the first time we have seen this happen. We saw it with the January 6th Select Committee. Some of these individuals testifying were like, no, none of this happened, while they had Trump lawyers Then they dump their Trump lawyers. They go back and say, all right, you know what? I wasn't honest with you. Here's the real truth. Trump is trying to buy silence and loyalty. It shouldn't be allowed. It is allowed. I mean, we can't revamp the system in time to change the outcome of this trial, but he is absolutely attempting to buy these people's loyalty, and it appears that he's being successful with it. However, could also mean that the lawyers he's paying are telling clients to lie, and that's never going to end well for those lawyers. Hey everyone, this is Aspen, and did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.